What's going on, guys? Welcome to the first episode of my new franchise mode series. As you can see by the title, we are doing the Toronto Maple Leafs. This was actually supposed to be my first franchise series for NHL 21. When I saw 2BC was doing Toronto, I decided to hold off for a little bit, let him have that. But we're going to be doing this Toronto Maple Leafs franchise mode series now. Obviously, trying to win Toronto their first Stanley Cup in, 50 years at this point. Have a great team to build around. Top player that you can see, Matthews, Marner, Tavares. Definitely a contending team already. Basically, we just got to bring in a couple small pieces that hopefully can, have that magic touch and really make them a champion. Now, I want to show you guys quickly all the team overalls as they have changed with the most recent roster update. Also, too, I did some quick editing myself. If you guys don't know, I lost all my created players about a month back, so I had to recreate them and also, re-edit the rosters. I didn't do too much, though. Basically, just all the guys I showed you in my top 10 overrated and underrated videos. And real quick, guys, I want to give an updated look at my created players list. One thing that's kind of crazy, actually, I downloaded the latest rosters from the Line A for Dubois trade, and I feel like EA must have watched my roster review video, as a ton of, small changes were made. McCarr's now an 86, so he's the same rating as Hughes. I saw a bunch of other just small changes, like Holtby and Dubnyk both got dropped in rating a little bit. Some prospects got boosted that I mentioned, so pretty awesome to see that. But as always, everyone likes to see the created players. I'm just going to quickly go through showing you guys all the players here. I think I made some small changes to certain players. Bedard, for instance, I lowered his shot a little bit. I felt like he was a little bit too OP in the Chicago Blackhawks franchise with how many goals he was scoring. Averaging a goal per game, I think, is a little bit much, but for most part, I think all these guys are the same. I think I've just made tiny changes basically based on the last franchise mode. If I thought guys were not good enough or maybe too good. Luke Hughes, for instance, I think I made a little bit better. Matthew Beniers as well, upgraded his rating and potential, just kind of based off what the scouts are saying. Michkov as well, like Bedard, I lowered his shot a little bit, but you can see it's still really good considering the fact he's 15. Owen Power there is the best rated 2021 prospect. Hopefully Mirov here grows for us being on the Leafs. Knight here I actually boosted a high elite potential just because not a lot of good young goalies, so might as well. Zegras, of course, now is a 75, just a small boost. I think that's basically it. Everyone else remained the same. Now, in regards to the team overall, Chicago is now the lowest rated team in the NHL at 81 overall. LA there is the second lowest, 82. Tied with them is actually the Devils. Then you have Ottawa 83, Detroit 84. Toronto here is 87 overall. Buffalo somehow tied with them. That's insane. Montreal's one higher. Tampa's the highest there, 89. I believe Tampa before was a 90, and I actually made them better, giving a boost to both Cirelli and Chernik. So I feel like maybe the overall is calculated a little bit different now. I feel like that's the only solution, as I think the Leafs also were an 89 before. Also, if you guys are wondering, I'm not making a Canadian division or anything, as after this season, they're going back to the regular division, so that wouldn't really make much sense. And as always, guys, for this, the only things I have turned on there are salary cap and computer trades. I'm using the most authentic settings for this franchise mode, so we have game style there set to 4-4 full sim. Injuries turned off, though, just because I find them so annoying. Authentic cap penalties, of course, turned on. Draft pick ownership here is also set to authentic. Salary cap, of course, is on. Trade difficulty set to hard. Some people think medium is actually the most realistic, but I don't really mind the challenge of having it on hard. Also, too, you gotta remember in advanced settings, turn that sim engine scoring up to highs. I actually think that's more realistic than medium, just because on medium, guys like McDavid sometimes don't even get 100 points. So I think that's pretty much it for the settings. So next, you guys, I'll show you the team we have to work with, as well as the lines we're rocking. It actually worked out pretty well in terms of the chemistry. So first line, we have Wayne Simmons playing with Matthews and Marner, all getting a +3. So Simmons could actually get a big boost here if he has a good season with Matthews and Marner. Second line there, you got Nylander playing with Tavares and Kerfoot, also getting a +3, which is really nice. Mikheyev, Thornton, and Hyman's a solid third line. Then we got VC, Spezza, Engvall on the fourth line. Honestly, a pretty solid fourth line as well. Defensively, Riley and Muzzin get +3 on the top pair. We then have Brody, Dermott on the second, Sandin, Holt on the bottom pair. So defense looks pretty good too. Anderson starting goalie, Campbell backing him up. Honestly, there's really no holes on this team. On paper, the Leafs are pretty good. Showing you guys special teams here. First PK gets a +5. Zeros there on the 3-man I'm pretty happy with. Show you guys the AHL team as well. We got some guys here we could potentially call up if we make trades, like Patan, Malgin. Defensively, you got Liljegren signing 7. I actually dropped him to a medium top 4. I think that's a bit more fair than medium elite. Bogosian's there as well. Hutchinson in net, 80 overall in case we traded Jack Campbell or something. So again, on paper, this Leafs team, they're pretty solid. I don't know if I'm even going to make a trade here at the start. I kind of want to see what they do in terms of the sim. They might just be good enough to win it all, like maybe make a trade at the deadline or something. They don't have to do anything too crazy, but I noticed actually we have like $4 million in cap space. I think it's because I have like no extra players called up right now. Dustin Byfuglien, you can see I dropped to an 82 overall. I think that's a lot more fair than when they have an 87. Guy hasn't played hockey in like a year and a half. He's 35 years old, but he still could be a pretty big help to this team. He's 6'5", pretty good shot, good physical. I'll show you guys actually all the top-rated free agents now. Not a lot left here, as most guys, have signed to start the NHL season. I know. So the Chicago franchise, there's just tons of free agents. After Grabner there, everyone else is just in the 70s. So I'm actually going to make a play here on Byfuglien. We'll offer 2.5 for 1 year. Our defense is solid, but I think he just brings another element. Kind of hoping he just kind of gives a nice chemistry boost, to be honest. And I just noticed there's actually some decent young free agents available. Brendan Perlini here, 24.78. Medium top 6. I'll make him an offer like $900K for 1 year. Go to the AHL. Maybe he does something. Kuffner, 24.74. I mean, he honestly probably maxed out like 78, 79. Doesn't really have enough, time left to grow. Jonathan Dahlin, 22.65. Maybe there. We'll give him the minimum. Madison Bowie, 25.78. So yeah, he's got like 2 years left to grow. If he has a really good AHL season, could maybe be an 80 in a couple years. So I'll give him a contract. We do have a lot of spots, I think, for the AHL defense. Jeremy Waugh, 23.73. It's kind of like Kuffner, but our defensive depth isn't as good as offensive, so I'm going to make him an offer. Nasson, 22.66. He probably doesn't even turn out, to be honest. So these, 5 guys are making offers on. And we only have 1 contract spot open, and it could only be a goalie spot as well. So I'm going to have to make a trade here and just get rid of some of our worst contracts. And while I'm on the trade screen, guys, I figured I'd show you all the trade values. Matthews, of course, number 1, followed by Marner, Tavares, Riley, Nylander, kind of the guys you would expect. Again, so that's kind of why I dropped Liljegren, because otherwise I think he might have more value than Riley, which just makes no sense. So draft picks, we have all of our picks, but our 3rd and 7th, which isn't too bad. Definitely, a lot to work with, I think. That's pretty crazy, guys. I'm looking at the Winnipeg Jets right now as they have a lot of roster spots open, and they have Perfetti and Heinola on the block, so I feel like that's something that, take into consideration for later. I'm going to try and get a 6th round pick here for our 5 extra dudes. Trade's rejected, so we got to hope that they give us a 7th. It's not good, though, if they're not even willing to give us a 6th. This might not even go through. Never mind, it does. Okay, so that's nice. That way, we now have enough that all those guys can sign with us. And Detroit just offered us a 3rd and a 4th for our 2nd and a prospect. I kind of like my 2nd, especially 2022. We could use that for an RFA signing if we want to make an offer sheet. So we're just saving up here to the first game. Give you guys a look at the offense, defense, goaltending stats that we have to start out with here. So let's see. We have 92 offense, 89 defense, 87 goaltending. Like, it's pretty good. Tampa's there. Obviously, they have a lot different roster for the preseason because that thing looks terrible. So, sim a couple days here. If we can get all those guys signed, Byfuglien I think will definitely help with the D. You can see Jonathan Dahlin accepts. That's nice. Just add him to the AHL team. Let's see. Madison Bowie, same thing. Jeremy Waugh. Dustin Byfuglien. Okay, so there we go. We got some veteran presence. Brandon Perlini as well. I feel like getting those guys for free, you just can't complain. Now, after the signing of Byfuglien, guys, I feel like we can afford to trade a defenseman, so I'm going to go with Brody here. He's probably, I think, the 3rd best D-man on the team, but 30 years old, 83 overall, he's making almost $5 million for the next 4 years. I'm going to try and get Heinola here from the Jets. Pretty similar trade value. I feel like in 2 years, Heinola could be an 83, and at that point, he's still an entry-level deal, getting better, where Brody, he's 32, 33 years old, getting worse, making a lot of money. I like this trade for us. We'll see what the Jets say. They do need defensive help. Trade's accepted. Okay, I think that's a really good deal for both teams. Now, when I was looking through the teams, guys, trying to make a trade, I saw that the Flyers had Bobby Brink on the block, and he's usually pretty good in the sim. I can see 68 overall right now at 19. He's one of our created players. Speed there, not the greatest, but you can see agility, excel pretty good. Good shot. Usually created players shoot the puck a lot. I think it could turn out to be pretty solid. I think he usually does. So offering up Hollander here, 2063. So Brink's already better, a year younger, plus a 6. This is an absolute steal if it goes through. Trade's rejected. Okay, fair enough. So we'll see if we can add. We'll see if we can do a 4th here with Hollander for Brink. That's a steal. So after that trade, guys, I'm going to give you an updated look at the lines. Obviously, no change to the offense. Dustin Byfuglien here we have on the bottom D pair with Sandin. The second one's now Dermott and Hole. I also have Bufflin on the the second PK. That first one, of course, still got that +5, but he's on the first 3-man PK. Also, in regards to the AHL, I'll show you guys those lines quickly. A lot better chemistry now. Perlini there, second line, getting a +3, so maybe he can get growing. Also, too, I noticed, who is this guy, Sabrin? I didn't know he's on the Marlies now. That's pretty funny. Imagine if he ever got called up to the Leafs. That would be pretty awkward. Hanola there on the top pair with Bowie. Liljegren on the second, Marincin with Goshen on the bottom pair. So I think the team has a lot better depth now. And I just realized, guys, the AHL team had 2 of our creative players scratched. We want playing to grow. Mirov now I have on the third line left wing. Brooks in the middle there, and Bobby Brinks on the third line right wing. So these are 2 guys. Hopefully playing with Brooks in the middle. Can see a lot of growth from. Now, guys, we're finally going to get started with the sim here. Take a break around December. See how this team's doing. So we're only a few games in, guys. Buffalo just offered us Eric Stahl in a 4th for Liljegren a 3rd and a 7th. But we don't really need Stahl right now. Something to keep in mind, I think, for the deadline maybe, but either, hold on to Liljegren and see how he develops. And another big offer here, Edward Vlasic in a 4th for 2 seconds and Rasanen. If Vlasic didn't have that huge contract, I would honestly consider it, but honestly, it's just an anchor of a contract, so gotta say no. So at the end of December now, guys, the record of 23, 14, and 2, you might have saw that we're actually second in the division, and we're a super streaky team. We actually started out this year 1-3, then after that, we got 10 straight wins, I think. Was it 2, 5, 7, 10 with Vegas, 11 actually. Last one there against the Devils before losing to Boston. Then after that, we lost something like, I think we went 1-6 or whatever. I'm looking at these games here. Yeah, actually 1-7 in the 8 games we played in these 2 weeks. So super streaky. Hopefully, we can rectify that. Like, if it wasn't for a couple bad weeks there, I think we were far and away the favorite to win the President's Trophy. Marner had a really good season so far, 44 points in 39 games. The Sabres are actually the team that's above us in the division with 52 points, which is quite surprising. Senators in last is not. I'm just looking around the league. Sharks 53. Now that is a surprise. Devils, that's also a surprise. Rangers are doing bad, just like real life, honestly. So we'll see how we do here heading up to the deadline. Again, we still have a bit of cap space. And this is kind of a surprise. The Calgary Flames just fired their head coach. Second last in the Pacific Division. I was trying to actually remember what the division was called because I'm so used to the new ones. I was going to say the North, but yeah, Flames head coach is gone. So at the trade deadline now, guys, the record of 36, 21, and 4. You can see second in the division. Panthers are actually first there, 78 points. They're still playing pretty good hockey. Marner, 69 points, 61 games. Nice. Let's see who's leading the NHL. It is the Panthers with 78. Wow. That's pretty impressive. So we're getting to the deadline here. We'll see, what's out there. Obviously, always looking to make the team better. I said I'm willing to deal picks and prospects, but still has to be the right trade. So we are definitely a buyer. We are, trying to compete for that Stanley Cup. Into the trade deadline here. See who all the top players are. Jared Spurgeon, you'll see, actually boosted 87 overall. I think it's a lot more fair for him. Fleury makes sense. They already have Leonard. Couture is a bit interesting. I mean, the Sharks are still first in the Pacific. That one makes no sense. Bailey, Brock Nelson, Vlasic, Kane. Sharks are just trying to, I think, shed cap. I know a lot of people want me to do a Sharks franchise. I'll make sure you get that one. If not the next one, one of the next couple. Dramelson, Stahl, Ranta. Ranta makes a lot of sense too. They already have Darcy Kemper. So really a pretty realistic trade deadline. Spurgeon's a bit interesting why they have him available, but I don't know if I'm really going to go for any of these guys. We only have the cap space, but still look around the teams and see if we make something happen. We just got a trade over here from the Canucks. Hamonic, Pearson, a 4th and a 5th for Liljegren, a 3rd and a 4th. Again, you're going to say no, I really don't want those guys. Now, I got that trade offer as I was just looking at the Ducks' very first team. Look at Trevor Zegras. This dude is a beast. Already 83 overall. Halfway through his first season in the AHL. Guy's got, 44 points there in 50 games. He starts out at a 75, so he's gone +8 in 50 games. Like, that's ridiculous. His hands, his shot, even his skating are all just unreal. So, if anyone thought 75 was a little too low for Zegras, it looks like he grows more than fast enough. That's nuts. Just got another trade off here from the Senators. Stepan a 3rd and Coburn for Hanola and Rasanen. Honestly, I wouldn't mind Stepan, but I'm not going to give up Hanola, that's for sure. 6.5, 83 overall, not having too bad of a season. Does not fit on any of our lines though, so never mind. And now guys, the Vancouver Canucks offering us Alex Edler and Tanner Pearson for Liljegren, a 3rd and a 4th. This actually might not be that bad of an offer. Like, Edler definitely helps with our defense. He's 84 overall. Fits on the top pair. Pearson, I think, would be a nice addition to the bottom 6. He fits on the top 6 apparently, but he's also a good special team guy. Definitely not going to trade them Liljegren, but I wouldn't mind trading them somebody of similar value. Alright guys, so here's the offer I'm making to the Canucks. They're Arguchentsev, who's a decent prospect, 20 years old, 64 overall, medium top 6. 4th rounder 2022, 3rd rounder 2023. I actually forget those are the exact picks, but as I was editing the trade, we had another trade come in, so it canceled it. We'll see what happens here. It looks to be pretty similar value. Trades rejected, really pretty far away, huh? I mean, Edler and Pearson, the addition of those guys kind of makes us a contender. I'm only going to do 2/3 there, Arguchentsev. Win the cup in the first year, wouldn't be too bad. They do accept that, there we go. Now, one thing I want to show you guys, as I was looking at the players to trade, we've had some crazy growth already on this team. We were looking at Zegras before. Bobby Brink here, we traded for him, he was 68 overall, now it's 77, he's up +9 already, he's the same rating as Hanola. That's pretty insane, just playing 3rd line AHL. Look at his stats, it looks like everything's gone up, honestly. Same goes for Mirov on his line, from a 65 to a 75, he's +10. So these guys have actually grown more than Zegras, but I feel like it's tougher to grow as you get higher in rating, if that makes sense. But still, really good to see that. Will we make another trade here? I feel like probably not. I think we're good. But maybe we'll have a really nice trade offer come in. This is pretty crazy, guys. I'm looking at the top 10 players on the trade block. Every single one got traded except for Couture and Antti Ranta. So 8 of the top 10 players on the trade block got moved. You don't usually see that. I feel like James Duffy, the guys on TSN, would be freaking out because they'd actually have an active trade day. I haven't looked at the trades yet, so very curious to see what all those guys got moved for. So first off, we have Minnesota getting Coghlan in exchange for Bukestad. Montreal got Jarmelson there for a prospect, a 2nd and a 5th. Jared Spurgeon goes to Boston. They definitely, could use some defensive help after losing Krug and Chara. Minnesota only gets 1 first rounder. I feel like they should have gotten more. Atkinson goes to the Rangers with Ron Hainsey, who apparently Columbus signed. Columbus gets Condre Miller, so pretty big trade there. Arizona gets a couple 3rd rounders. Rangers get a 2nd Kajula. Devils got Hamonic. Canucks there got Nasson and Schnarr. We actually saw at least one of those guys in free agency. We have our trade. Carolina gets Josh Bailey, Andy Green, Leo Komarov. Islanders get a 1st prospect and a 5th. So again, this is a pretty awesome trade day. A lot of movement. The Devils get Galchenyuk a 3rd and a couple other things. Ottawa gets Ty Smith a 3rd and Bell. I mean, with how Tyson's playing right now, Ottawa fleeced the Devils there. Edmonton, a couple of picks. San Jose gets a 2nd and Stuart Skinner. Surprised to see Edmonton move on from him. Islanders get Kreider. Interesting they picked him up. Trade Pelech, who I actually upgraded to 83. Make him better. Detroit gets Tolvanen. I like that. Predators get Merrill and Ryan. I'm down for that trade in real life. Nashville also got Brock Nelson and Cizikas. Islanders got Tomasino. That's a huge return for them. 2nd and a 5th. So Islanders are quite active, trading away a lot. They also trade away. The Islanders trade away their whole team. They also trade away Scott Mayfield. They got back Cale Fleury. Buffalo got Marc-Andre Fleury. I think that's one of the teams I predict he might go to in real life. Vegas got Stahl, Miller, and a couple others. So yeah, like I was saying, pretty crazy trade deadline. Obviously, all the biggest trades are going to come through here. I actually quickly want to take a look at the Islanders team just because I feel like they have a whole new team. They still have Barzal. One thing that kind of sucked before, when he didn't have a contract, they'd often trade him. But now that he does, they actually hold on to him, which is nice. So the first line's intact. And then you got Kreider there with Pajot, Beauvillier, Walsh. I mean, I don't know about Tomasino there, Hosang, Timashov. Defensively, the 2 guys I upgraded for them in Pelech and Mayfield. They trade both of them. Just a slap in the face to me. But what are you going to do? You guys can see I also made Sorokin here 83 medium elite because I felt like 80 medium starter was just so bad for him. So after that trade, guys, here's an updated look at the team. Offense is pretty much the same, but we now have Pearson here on the 4th line, so it makes the 4th line even better. Edler's on the 2nd D pair with Bufflin. Hole and Dermott there on the bottom pair. In regards to special teams, both guys we picked up are on the special teams, which is nice. Pearson's getting a +5 on that first PK. Edler's on the 2nd. Edler's also on the 2nd 3-man PK unit. So hopefully, it was worth giving up those picks and the prospect for. I feel like even if it wasn't, we really didn't break the bank or anything getting those guys. I think definitely this team has the potential to win the cup. We know it's mostly luck, but I feel like we definitely gave ourselves a good chance. And we're now at the end of the season here, guys, with a record of 49, 27, and 6. Being 1 shy of 50 definitely hurts. The Ducks there won the Pacific with 102. Blackhawks won the Central 103. The teams you'd expect to be at the bottom. That is pretty nuts. Panthers, Sabres, Lightning, the other teams there making it in the Atlantic. So Boston misses. Devils win the Metro. Honestly, aside from us, if you were to tell me, do you think, at the beginning of the year, do you think the Ducks, the Blackhawks, and the Devils are finishing first or last in the division? I'd definitely tell you last. So that's pretty crazy to see. We have 104 points. Almost good enough for the President's Trophy. The Devils beat us out there by 2 points or 1 win. I can't believe that. They're 82 overall. So I believe if I remember right, they were tied with LA for being the second worst team in the game. The Blackhawks were the worst. They had the 81 overall rating. They win the Central. I don't even get this game sometimes. Like, how does that happen? I bet you, like, in 100 sims, it only happens once or twice. So, looking at the stats here, Marner 93 and 82. I'm trying to remember, did he start out at 90 overall, or did he already go up one? Did he start at 89? I feel like he's definitely going to grow even more, though. Matthews 84 and 82. Awesome season for him. 39 goals. Tavares 80 with 39 goals is really good. Nylander 71. Got to be going up from that 85. Pearson 53. I feel like that's mostly with Canucks, but good to see. Riley over 50 as a D-man. Simmons 42. Obviously, playing wing on that first line. Thornton there, still getting it done at his age. We'll see whether or not he retires. Muzzin at 40. Spezza 39. Fourth line center. I think he's like second center on the power play. It's pretty good, honestly. So yeah, I feel like everyone, for the most part, was definitely carrying their weight. How did Freddie do in net? 40, 20, and 6. 10 shutouts. That's a bit of a ridiculous amount of shutouts, to be honest. .914 and 2.54. Those are pretty good numbers. Those are potential Vezina numbers if like no other goalie popped off this year. Take a look at the AHL team. Maligan 64. Should grow to at least like an 80, I think. After that, though, really nothing too crazy. Like, I don't even see Bobby Brink in 73 games, 26, and Murov 23. I can't believe they grew as much as they did with really not performing that crazy. Let's see, Hutchinson there, pretty good numbers as well for the AHL. So next year we'll just see who the lead scorer was in the entire league. I'm going to guess McKinnon. I was going to say McDavid, but he's on the page. McKinnon 113, Eichel, Rantanen, Crosby, Draisaitl. I mean, it's the usual suspects for sure here. Who led the defense in scoring? Erik Karlsson, 87. I wish he would play like that for my fantasy team. He's been struggling a little bit here. He actually had 20 more points than the next highest guy, which is Ekman Larson. So definitely kind of crazy. Rookie skaters, Kaprizov, 73. He was my pick to win the Calder. Lafreniere, 60. Then after that, pretty big drop-off. Wallstrom, Cousins, both at 35. And next year, we'll take a look at the entire league standings. See who got last. I'm actually not sure. We know we got second there. 6 teams, 100 plus points. Did anybody get screwed with the playoffs? No. Top 16 made it, so that's good to see. And last place is the LA Kings, 65, Senators 66. I mean, those two make sense for sure. Calgary, of course, fired their head coach. They're probably the biggest surprise. St. Louis being pretty low. Also a bit of a surprise. But we'll get started with the playoffs now. Again, I think those moves we made at the deadline should help us here. I think we got the offensive firepower for sure. Matthews, Marner, Tavares, Nylander kind of carrying that front. Tampa Bay. Why do we got to go against the Cup champs first round? Come on, like, how unfortunate is that? And we actually finished first in the division, so Tampa's somehow a wildcard team. Just our luck. Sorelli, as you can see, I made him an 85. Also gave him a high top 6. EA finally boosted him from high top 9 to medium top 6, which is one of the things I pointed out. Like I was saying, a lot of like small changes I mentioned in my roster video, they changed, so I'm really, really happy about that. Stammer's playing second line center. This team is just so stacked defensively. Chernik, you can see I'm in 82 now. Sergachev 87. Bottom pair with Cal Foot. Are you kidding me? Vasilevsky and net. How this team was a wildcard team, I have no idea. It's like the game knew we were going to get first, and they didn't want us to have an easy first round. We'll see what happens here. So, we'll do, sim a couple games at a time, hope for the best. We have that home ice advantage, so you never know. 4-3 OT win, and a 4-3 loss. So, I mean, 1-1 for the first two. We'll take it. Just got to win one game in Tampa, keep this series tied. We lose the first 6-3, win the second. 7-6 in OT. We actually have yet to win a game in regulation, but we're tied 2-2. Go home to Toronto, win one. Lose in OT. Okay, game 7. Winner moves on. Are you kidding me? 6-3 loss, game 7 to the Lightning. That's rough. And the lottery results are in, guys. Ottawa jumps up from second to first. Minnesota goes from 9 to second with Boston's pick. Of course, Boston traded that to Minnesota for Jared Spurgeon. Didn't even make the playoffs. Dallas jumps up from 8 to 3. Pretty similar jump to when they drafted Heiskanen. LA there, who did get last, goes all the way to 4. So I'm curious to see, like, will Owen Power go first overall? We'll take a look here at this draft class. Wow, there's a created player with franchise potential. The rest of the created players there, the next 4 guys, are all higher than Power. So, oh my gosh, I forgot to put an N on Owen Power. Whoops. I'll have to fix that after. But that's one thing I like about the created players. Like, 5 guys go before the actual players, and they're all going to be pretty good, honestly. They're probably going to be like high 70, low 80s out of the draft, where the created guys are only like high 60s, low 70s, as it is, you know, not the best year. Marner, 14 points in 7 playoff games. 2 points a game in the playoffs is pretty ridiculous. Like seeing that. Buffalo Sabres here won the Stanley Cup. Take a look at the playoff tree, see how they got there. So they beat Florida in 5, swept the Lightning. So they played both Florida teams in the first 2 rounds. Islanders in 5. How did the Islanders make the Eastern Conference Final after trading away like half their team? And then they swept the Ducks. Wow. The Buffalo Sabres dropped 2 games the entire playoffs. We had a run with Chicago where we dropped 1, which was a record. I believe 2 was also a record. So in this, our Chicago team doesn't exist, in which case Buffalo sets a playoff record there on a 16-2 run. Again, a very weird year. Like, you had Chicago, Anaheim, and Devils winning their divisions. Anaheim beat Vegas in 5, Coyotes in 6, Sharks in 6. Yeah, just a very, very strange year. Take a look at the awards next year. So we know Buffalo won the Cup. Devils got the President's Trophy. So weird. So weird. All right. Art Ross goes to McKinnon. Also got the Hart. Carlson there gets James Norris. McKinnon, Lady Bing. Kaprizov got the Calder. Killer Hall, Conn Smythe. I just realized Hall finally wins a Cup, so that's pretty cool. Anderson did get the Vezina. I was going to say his stats are pretty nuts, so I think he needs a new contract. It's going to be tough to not bring back the Vezina winner. We should have the cap space. He also won the William Jennings, so we had the lowest goals against, which is good. Because Toronto's really known for defense, so the fact we had lowest goals against, we actually might have to bring in some offense to play with our superstars. I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't have had Simmons first line. I don't know. Jordy Ben there, Bill Masterton. Arizona coach got Jack Adams, Patrice Bergeron, Selke. McKinnon also got Ted Lindsay. Obi there, Maurice Richard. I think I forgot to check that, but there you go. So AHL, I don't even think... Do we make the playoffs? I don't think so, because I never saw the AHL logo as we were singing, which kind of surprising. Like, our AHL team is pretty good. Nathan Gerby there, most points, MVP. Denisenko, most goals. Zegras, outstanding rookie. I mean, makes sense. Clendening, best defenseman. So Lake Erie getting a bunch of awards. Comrie, best goalie. Gerby also got MVP of the playoffs. Sportsmanship, he just went off this year. Camphor, community involvement, and Comrie had lowest goals against. So, yeah, I don't think our AHL team made the playoffs, but I should double check that. And yeah, they did not make the playoffs, which is pretty crazy. Like 38, 33, and 5 record really isn't too bad. So we'll get to the draft now. We have our first round pick. The fact that there's 5 created guys at the start, we might be able to actually get a decent player. We were a first round exit, so if we're picking 15, maybe we can somehow steal a medium elite guy still. You got Hossa, Zetterberg, Gabrick retiring. All those guys are basically already LTIR retired anyways. Johnny Boychuk there as well. Goalies, Victor Fass. I mean, I don't even know if he's playing hockey still, but we'll get to the draft now. Zetterberg's a scout, might have to hire him. This sucks so much, guys. We were a first round exit and we're picking 26 just because we had a good regular season. Now, check out this draft class. I know some players who are guaranteed medium elite and they've dropped a ton. So, Power, Johnson, Beniers, Ratu, they're all medium elites. I actually dropped Ratu there from high to medium, made more sense to me. Luke Hughes is medium, Sillinger is high top 6, I think, same for Eklund. LaHaru, Lysell is a medium top 6, I think. Lambos there's elite, and he's ranked 15. Evanson 16 is also medium elite, same with Gunther and Clark. So, if we can just get a mid-first rounder, we get a medium elite player here in the first round. I'd be fine with any of those guys. You also got Wallstedt there, franchise goalie, who's going to go 20, which is still a little bit early for us. But I'm definitely going to try and trade up here to a mid-round pick. Like I said, I'm fine with whoever's still there. Alright guys, so right now I'm trying to move up from 26 to 17. Golden Knights have their pick on the block. I'm adding Dustin Byfuglien, who I don't see me bringing back. He's actually dropped from 81, he's 36. We have younger guys coming up, plus a 4th rounder. Let's see what the Golden Knights say here. Trades rejected. So I subbed out Byfuglien for Perlini as he has slightly more value. Also added a 3rd rounder, 2024. That's our next 3rd round pick. See what the Golden Knights say to this. Trades rejected. Are you kidding me? I feel like that's a pretty good offer. We'll also add a 4th next year. And there you go, trades accepted. Okay, so we're picking 17. Pretty much guaranteed to be a medium elite player still there, which is pretty insane. So I'm going to sim to the pick. Lambo's just got taken. So first overall was this Dansk dude, 81 medium franchise goes to Ottawa. Minnesota gets Karpovtsev, medium 80 overall. I feel like I'm going to get him confused now with Kaprizov. Jorgensen, Busayev, Lindgren, all made up. Then you got Power going 6, it should have been 1. Kent Johnson, Matt Beniers. Aturatu goes to Detroit. Sillinger, Luke Hughes to Canucks. That's awesome. I actually had him going to the Canucks in my mock draft. I had him going at 6 though, not 11, but he would be going 6, actually. You take away those 5 guys, he would have been the 6th player taken, so pretty cool. Eklund, you guys can see I have a high top 6. Edvinsson goes 14, which is ridiculous. Like, he might go top 5 real life. He could go as high as, I think, 2, potentially 1. Lysell there, Lambos. Okay, so Gunther's still here, and I think Brandt Clark's still here. They're both still here. Oh my gosh. I might have to make a splash and get back in this draft to get the other one, because, like, Clark's a top, they're both top 5 picks, really. Wallstead as well as a franchise potential goalie. Normally he's got medium starter potential, which is so dumb because he goes in the 4th round, where he should be going around this point in the 1st round, so definitely makes sense to bump him up to franchise potential. I don't know if I want the forward or Clark. I feel like we need defense more than offense. I'm trying to remember, like, who grows more. I'm going to take Brandt Clark here for now to be safe. I feel like our young defense, him, Sandin, Lodgren, but I am going to try and get back in this draft to get Gunther. Arizona's pick's not on the block. That's a shame, because otherwise, I could definitely get it. Alright guys, I'm making the Coyotes a huge offer here. Alex Kerfoot in our 1st round pick next year for the 18th overall to get Dylan Gunther. He's only got 1 year left to grow. 82 overall. I think he actually dropped 1. Only put up 39 points playing 2nd line on a +3 with Tavares and Nylander. Just isn't that good. I think the value's on our side. We'll see what Coyotes say here. Trades accepted. Let's go. I wouldn't have thought we'd be getting Brandt Clark and Dylan Gunther in this draft. We could even try and get back in to get Jesper Wallstedt, but I do plan on re-signing Freddie Anderson, especially after trading Kerfoot. We definitely have the money to do so, and I think, you know, Anderson's, what is he, still like 30, so he should be good, I think, for at least 5 more years, and then, you know, after that, we can try and make a trade for a goalie, sign one in free agency. There's usually quite a bit available, but considering how good this team is, to get Clark and Gunther there back-to-back at 17-18, that's just insane. Now, the 2nd round pick here, guys, I'm going to try getting this Cal Franzen dude. Very good chance to be medium top 4. We'll see what he is. Medium top 6. But he's 63 overall, so it's not terrible. Like, I could see him being a bottom pairing guy in the future. Hope for a little bit better, but what are you going to do? 5th rounder here. Our only gem, by the way, was a low top 4, so I didn't even bother taking him. We could have got him in the 2nd round, but I decided to take a chance. This center here, he's not medium elite, he's real. Taylor Gauthier, he's got medium fringe. This guy, goalie, might be made up. Volpatti, American, I'm not familiar with the name. Wyatt Johnston, I think he's got decent potential. What is he, 170? The goalie there is 200, so I might be able to still take him. Let's go Johnston, I feel like he's got decent potential. Medium top 9, yeah, for the 5th round. He's only 52 overall, but still it's not too bad. Obviously, you guys can see he's a Spitfire. That's why I took him. So at this point, let's see, sorted by potential again. And, well, Patty's still there. I'm going to take a chance on this American goalie. And medium elite, let's go. 47 overall is quite low, but if we get him as the AHL backup or something, get him growing, that could really work out for us. And I think that was actually, yeah, that was our last pick in the draft. So, made out pretty good, I think. Our worst pick was probably the 2nd rounder, but really wasn't any, you know, home runs there. We took a chance. Overall, very happy with that draft, especially the 1st round, just crazy. I'm at the resign phase here, guys. I'm actually surprised. We have 20 million in cap space. I would say the first issue for us is definitely getting our Vezina-winning goalie and Freddie Anderson re-signed. He's 88 overall, so he hasn't gone up. Want 6.85 for 3 years. Honestly, that's like pretty fair from Freddie. 4 years he goes up. I was going to say, I wouldn't mind having him sign until he's 35. I feel like he probably says yes to, like, I don't know, 6.25, especially since he wants the extension. Campbell's still the backup. Hutchinson's starting AHL. Wool there, 77 now. Ooh, 1.2. I don't know what he's on about. We'll have to qualify him. I doubt anyone makes him an offer sheet. Now look at the forwards here. Of course, the big four all locked up. Same with Mikhaev, who's now an 83. Hyman, I'd like to bring back. He doesn't want an extension. 3.5 for 2 years. Honestly, for an 83, like, that's pretty fair. Tanner Pearson, we'll see what he wants. 5.5. Mustn't have liked playing fourth line. He's gone. Wayne Simmons was playing first line. He had to have liked it. $3 million. I don't think Wayne Simmons is worth that. I feel like we have a lot of young players. Spezza, I wouldn't mind bringing back, the veteran. 2.4 for a 38-year-old player. I don't know about that. Joe Thornton, $2 million right on. Okay, so see, I'll do that for Thornton. I think 2. He wasn't. Yeah, he does want an extension. Spezza, I'm just gonna let go. Engvall's there. Hyman, we gotta make sure we can get him back. Let's do. I mean, I'll offer him what he's asking, or actually an extra 25K. Maligan, 24.79. He'll probably have to be on our fourth line. That's a really good contract, especially if he grows to be like 80-81. Anderson, I'd like to see him grow. Brinks, a 78. He might be making the NHL team already next year. That's pretty nuts if he does. Agostino, I'm just going to let go. I think everyone else after that. Tan has a chance to make the NHL team. VC was scratched. 1.3. You can get a 78 for sub $1 million. So, yeah, the rest of the guys are AHL. Looking at the defense here. Liljegren, 79. He has a chance to push in on the NHL team. Sandin, Bufflin, he doesn't want an extension. What's he want for money? 2.5. Yeah, that was a fun 1-year thing. Let him go. Dermott, definitely want to bring back. $4 million for 4 years. Ooh, kind of expensive. Edler, I wouldn't mind for the right price. $4 million for 1 year. I feel like it's time for the youth movement. I think Edler and Pearson were both rentals, and again, it wasn't a crazy price. So we could have Riley Muzzin top pair, Dermott Hole second, Sandin Liljegren bottom pair, potentially Hanola, whoever grows the most. I think that still gives us a bit of money to sign someone in free agency, as we definitely could use somebody. I think for the offense for sure, you know, middle 6 player. Let's offer Dermott 3.5 or 4. I think he might say yes to that. Goshen here as well, definitely let him go. Basically rotting the AHL. So advance a day, see who accepts these contracts. Thornton's back. Freddie Anderson's back. Let's go. Dermott wants more money. Fair enough. Hyman wants to go to free agency, so we'll have to pay him a lot. Maligan's back. Okay, so Dermott and Hyman, we have to offer them both a bit more money. Let's try 3.75 for Dermott. I think he'll go for that. Honestly, Hyman, I might do the exact same offer, 3.75. Extra 250K. I don't know why he wouldn't want an extension. Like, makes no sense. And Dermott says yes. Hyman says yes. Okay, there we go. So everyone's locked up. We still have $7 million in cap space for using free agency, which is pretty awesome. All right, guys, we're at the free agency period here. Very excited to see who's available, as we actually have some money to spend. Taylor Hall, 10.6, a bit rich for us. Ovechkin, also a little rich. We're 2 million shy. Krejci wants 9 million. Wenberg wants 8.5. Wow, he's an 86. He's gone up in rating. Low top 6 potential though. I guess just he had a huge year last year with the Panthers, 60 points. Wow, he's gonna get paid. Stahl wants 8. Getzlav wants 8. Anaheim didn't bring him back. He actually went up in rating. 90 points last year. I didn't even realize he went off. He went up from an 85 to an 88 at 36 years old. Very impressive. Oh, wow. Duclair wants to get paid. All these guys looking for tons of money. Ooh, I don't know. Barry there, 5'5", 84. Could bring him back. Although, like I said, I think it's smart to just go with the youth movement in defense. I think, you know, if they get playing time, they'll grow. And then, of course, we have Clark coming up. Not too distant future. I'm just kind of curious what the goalie situation looks like. We got Anderson. Bennington goes to free agency. Same with Tuukka Rask. 89 only wants 5.8, but he is 34. Grubauer, Riddick, Ullmark. Wow, lots of goalies here. So definitely going to be some changes. Sorokin has low franchise. Interesting, but he's still an 83. 16 games. How did he grow from medium elite to low franchise? That is very, very interesting. Demko is also in free agency, but he's still an RFA. So you got to think Canucks probably hold on to him. Same goes for Sorokin there with the Islanders. But I wanted to get a forward. I didn't know like they were all going to be this much money. I was looking for like a middle 6 guy. Definitely like a 1 year looking at these prices. Look at this, guys. Patrick Marlo's in free agency. 83 overall, so he actually went up by 3. He wasn't 80. Wants 4.3 million. Would have been kind of fun to bring him back, reunite him with Joe Thornton, who's still on the team, as well as the kids, but not at that price. He had 60 points last year at 41, playing with the Sharks. Oh my gosh. I mean, I don't know. We have 7.5. We could get him and Mike Hoffman, who I just noticed, 84. He didn't have the greatest year, but he still got the stats. I was actually also looking at Athanasiou, but Athanasiou wants, I think, 5'5". Yeah, he wants 5'5" there. But he had 50 points last year. It's quick, very, very quick. 94 speed, 94 excel, pretty good defensive stats. Lots of options. And the first thing I want to do here, guys, is sign good two-way prospects that teams let go for whatever reason. Red Wings, I don't know what Eichmann's doing. How do you let go of Grew? 2064 medium top 6. Now, I remember in my Red Wings franchise on NHL 20, he ended up being a bust, but still. Senyshyn, Boston's done with him. Could have been Matt Barzal. Make an offer. Gersich here, 2472 medium top 6. He's probably not going to turn into anything. Kuffner, I don't know. Jonathan Berggren's also here. He was a medium top 6. Now he's a low top 6, but you never know. Maybe he'll turn it around. Drury, 2170. Low top 6. Definitely worth, trying to get for free. Logan Green, 2069. Anderson here, 2270. It's not that bad. That guy looks way... How's that guy 4 years younger than me? He's actually probably 5 years younger than me based on, when this game came out. Green, I didn't realize an RFA. Belpedio, 2575. I don't mind for the AHLs. We did, not re-sign some guys. So yeah, Kuffner, I'm still not going to sign him. He's not going to turn anything. Curtis Douglas here, 2168, medium top 9. Another former Spitfire. The dude's 6'8". I mean, how can you not sign him? 108 points in playing for the Spitfires. I feel like he'd just be an awesome bomb 6 guy to have. Also, guys, look at the top free agency again, and I just realized Alex Ovechkin's now 95 overall. I still can't believe him going to free agency. I don't see it happening in real life. Again, we can't afford the top guys. And I was thinking, if we get Athanasiou, we could probably afford another $3 million player, or we could get Hoffman and Patrick Marlo. And I feel like Patrick Marlo would just be too fun to pass on. Obviously, Matthews and Marner love him. Maybe he plays first line with Matthews and Marner. So 1 year, we'll offer 4.2. He has no teams interested right now because he is 41 years old. Or we could play him with Thornton. It's just too cool to have both those guys on the team. Neither have won a Stanley Cup. So imagine we could bring Marlo and Thornton their first Stanley Cup. I think that'd be pretty awesome. Now we're also going to try and get Mike Hoffman, as I think he's probably the best deal in free agency. 4.3 for an 84. You can see everyone else there. More expensive. And Hoffman's got really good offensive stats still. So I'll offer him 4.5. He also wants a 1 year, which works out perfect because we don't really know how these guys are going to play. I really don't want to be locked into them too long term. So we'll see what happens there. I might like both those signings, bringing in both those guys, and I think we just have some guys in the AHL coming up for the fourth line, and we'll be fine. So Luke Green re-signed with Winnipeg, which is fine. I didn't realize it was an RFA. Douglas we got, though. Same with Grew. Jonathan Berggren did not. He signs with Buffalo. Or is Rochester still Buffalo? I don't even know. I forget. AHL teams change way too much. Are you kidding me? No longer have the cap space because we signed Patrick Marlo. And we got all those two-way guys. We offered Hoffman 4.5. I feel like that should have been that should have worked out. We have 3.7. Crap. Okay, so hopefully he didn't sign with somebody else. He's still there. He wants 4.3 now. See if I can work some cap magic. Next year, guys, I'm gonna trade Jack Campbell back to LA for the Winnipeg 6th rounder. I think that should be fair. Trade rejected. Wow. So I'm doing this because he's making $1.5 million. And Hutchinson makes $750K and is the same rating, so it should save us $750K on the cap, which is all we need to get Mike Hoffman signed. I'll show you guys right here. So yeah, he's an 80 overall now. I believe he was an 81, so we dropped. Hutchinson, same rating. Wool could be our AHL starter, and then I guess Patty, maybe we make the AHL backup. He's going to be bad, but I think that'll help him grow. And wow. A 7th rounder for Jack Campbell, they say no. They want him too. Should I just try... I saw Anaheim, Arizona liked him. I wonder if it's just LA is not willing to give it up. So Arizona also said no to a 7th. I'm going to try... Wow, our 2022 picks are crap. I'm going to try Winnipeg 7th with Campbell for their 7th. So they basically get him for free. And now they say yes. Okay, so that's $750K there. We should now have enough to go get Mike Hoffman. Again, Patty Marlo, reunited with Matthews and Marner. They get their dad. I love it. And hopefully we can get Mike Hoffman here. I think it's a good addition to the team. 4.3. We actually have up to 4.7 to spend. So I'm offering 4.55 just in case. An extra 50K just in case somebody comes in, tries to steal him from us last second. And crap, I just noticed Athanasiou's price dropped by $1 million. So we maybe could have gotten him. I didn't think he'd drop his price by $1 million in 3 days, but it's my fault, I guess, not doing my due diligence, but that's okay, because I think Athens C wanted a longer-term deal, and he had other teams bidding for him, so we might not have gotten him. Well, we need Hutchinson now to be our backup, so that trade came a little bit too late. And Hoffman does say yes, so there we go. I think we had a couple nice additions. Hanola, Winnipeg wants him back now for 2/3, and they also want Hutchinson. That is not happening. It's down the fall, guys. So I'm going to show you our lines heading into next season. Also, in case you were wondering, captaincy here I did not change. Tavares still wearing the C. Matthews and Riley there wearing the 2 A's. I'm pretty sure in real life, is it Matthews and Marner alternate A's? Not exactly sure. At least fans can let me know. But this team's looking really good. So the first line is actually what I said. Marlo, Matthews, and Marner. Marlo there playing with his 2 sons, getting a +1. I want to see what happens there. It could be a lot of fun. Marner's now 92, Matthews a 91. Nylander there up to an 87, playing with Tavares and Hoffman. That line gets a +3. I think they could go off. Mikheyev, Engvall, Hyman's a solid third line. Engvall's in the middle. Second position there is center. He's got 75 face-offs. Should do fine. And then the fourth line, you got Malgin, Thornton, and Bobby Brink, who's now an 83. I feel bad having on the fourth line, but it works the best for chemistry. Honestly, though, I gotta make sure I get him special teams time, because look at his shot. Like, his shot just grew so much. Hands are really good, too. He's quick there. 89 speed, 93 excel. I don't know how he grew as much as he did, but usually custom player shoots puck a lot. I'm gonna have him on probably power play. If not 1, for sure power play 2. Also gonna have him on the 4-man power play. If I do leave him on the fourth line, I can try and mess around with it. I could change him up for Mikheyev, or put him with Hoffman with Lose +3. On the first line there, they're only getting a 0, but it might be worth it instead of Marlo, since they're only getting a +1. And Marlo still gets a +1. On the fourth line, he's playing with Thornton. I honestly might do that. You guys can let me know, because Brink's stats are just so good. He could really, really turn into a player here for us. Defensively, Riley Muzzin still the top pair. We got Liljegren standing on the second pair, both young. I think they could really grow a lot. Hole and Dermott's the bottom pair. Goalies, Anderson starting, Hutchinson backing him up. I'll show you guys the AHL team here quick. Hanola there with Bowie on the top pair. Look at the offense here. You can see every single line's getting a +1 chemistry. Amirov's 77 already, so we'll see how he does in the AHL this season. We got 6'8" Curtis Douglas starting that third line. I'd love for him to get to like at least an 80, just because, see him basically on the ice if we ever do make a Stanley Cup final. I think it would be pretty funny. Also, too, for AHL goalies, Joseph Wall's on the starter. More than fine. He's a 79, so I'm definitely glad we traded Campbell, because it brought in Hoffman. And then, well, Patty here, really low-rated back at 47, but I've never had a, 40-something immediately goalie actually turn into a good goalie, so I'm trying something new. I'm getting him involved immediately, have him as the AHL backup. Just going to try and get him as many games as we can, as fast as we can. I'm going to do my best, basically, to have this. What was he, a 5th-round pick for us? 6th-round pick. I'm going to try and actually make him at least an NHL backup goalie for us. So, should be a lot of fun. I'll show you guys offense, defense, and goaltending stats here before we finish as well. Looking at our teams, I'm very optimistic. I think for sure the AHL team really should be a playoff team this year. I don't know how they went last year. They did have a positive record, so maybe just a good division. NHL team as well, I think it's just as stacked, if not more stacked than last season. Let's take a look at the stats here. So 97 offense, that's ridiculous. It's higher. 91 D's higher. 87 goaltending, I think it's pretty much the exact same. So yeah, we won the division last year. We'll see whether or not we can kind of keep this going. Let me know in the comments section about any moves you guys think I should make. Trades, lines, whatever. If you guys enjoyed this first episode, please leave that thumbs up. Helps out immensely. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to hit that sub button. Half you watching are not subscribed. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.